On the morning of October 13th, 1899, the small town of Selkirk, Montana, awoke to a mystery that would ripple through history like a shadow on snow. 7 sisters, all daughters of the respected merchant Gabriel Thornfield, had vanished from their home during the night. Their beds remained untouched, their nightgowns still hanging on bedposts, and not a single footprint marked the frost-covered porch. The Thornfield mansion, nestled just a few streets from Selkirk's bustling main road, was eerily silent. No broken windows, no unlocked doors. Just silence. The Thornfield sisters, Margaret, 26, Catherine, 24, the twins Eleanor and Elizabeth, 22, Sarah, 20, Grace, 17, and Rebecca, 14, had become the very heart of the community. Their talents, warmth, and charity were well known throughout the region. But in one cruel night, they had disappeared without a trace. Selkirk, at the turn of the century, was caught between the frontier wilderness and the creeping modernity of Eastern influence. As the Northern Pacific Railroad extended its iron arteries westward, towns like Selkirk became crossroads, where old traditions met new ambitions. The Thornfields were symbols of that progress. Gabriel, having arrived with nothing but a wagon and his daughters, had built a commercial empire in just a few years. His general store provided the backbone of the town's economy, and his lavish Victorian mansion served as a statement of both success and paternal pride. The sisters, each brilliant in her own way, contributed to the town's soul. Margaret, the eldest, revolutionized local education with her progressive teaching. Catherine inspired a cultural awakening with her art. The twins operated a seamstress shop that gave employment to many women. Sarah was the voice of Selkirk's church and charity. Grace balanced ledgers with mathematical genius. And young Rebecca, with her joyful laughter, was the beating heart of the community. The day before the sisters vanished, all 7 exhibited odd behavior. Margaret, normally poised, appeared distracted. Catherine was seen painting furiously, only to destroy her canvas again and again. The twins whispered anxiously in their shop, fumbling through their work. Sarah sang off-key at church. Grace made simple math errors. Even Rebecca, the cheerful spirit of the family, asked their housekeeper strange questions about leaving home and happiness. At 3 p.m. that afternoon, Dr. Samuel Porter spotted the 7 sisters walking silently down River Street. They moved in eerie unison, like soldiers to a grim duty. None smiled. None spoke. Rebecca looked back for a moment, her eyes pleading. By nightfall, they had vanished. The last confirmed sighting came from Timothy Fletcher, the telegraph office clerk. He watched as the sisters stood, unmoving, under a gas lamp outside his window. Dressed in their finest clothes, hair done, eyes vacant. They faced the train station, their stance stiff, awaiting something or someone. Then they were gone. Gabriel reported the disappearance just after midnight. Sheriff William Klein began an investigation that spiraled into confusion. No signs of forced entry. No signs of struggle. Nothing stolen. But each room bore signs of quiet intrusion. Drawers opened, closets searched, rugs slightly moved, as if someone had been looking for something very specific. Within days, a federal marshal arrived, bearing orders to seal the case. Gabriel protested, but the files were locked away in Washington. For 80 years, no one spoke of the Thornfield sisters again. It wasn't until 1978, when a local historian named Martha Klein uncovered a box in the attic of her late grandfather's home, that the truth began to resurface. Her grandfather, a former deputy under Sheriff Klein, had secretly copied portions of the investigation. Inside the box were sketches of the rooms, records of strange symbols carved beneath the sisters' beds, and letters in code addressed to names that didn't exist in town records. The deeper Martha dug, the darker the mystery became. Evidence hinted that the Thornfields were not merely victims, but targets. Gabriel's business dealings had put him at odds with a group known only as the Meridian Circle, a shadowy network of industrialists and traffickers who moved through the expanding railroad towns, kidnapping young women to be sold into servitude across the continent. Gabriel, it seemed, had tried to protect his daughters. The guests he had hosted were not investors, but extortionists. The coded letters were warnings, and the sudden change in the girls' behavior, likely the moment they learned their fates were sealed unless they vanished on their own terms. One theory emerged. The sisters, aided by a sympathetic member of the circle, staged their own disappearance. The meticulous arrangement of their rooms was a message to their father. The walk to the train station, their formal attire, the final glance from Rebecca, all part of a plan to escape the web tightening around them. But escape to where? No records exist of 7 women matching their descriptions arriving anywhere on the Northern Pacific Line. Not in Seattle, not in Portland, not even in San Francisco. And though rumors of sightings emerged in the years following, a teacher in Colorado, a nun in Vancouver, an artist in Tucson, none were confirmed. Some believe the sisters were intercepted before they could flee. Others say they lived under assumed identities, their past buried beneath a century of silence. A few, including Martha Klein, believe that Gabriel helped them disappear and spent the rest of his life guarding their secret. He died in 1912, buried beside 7 empty graves. The town of Selkirk slowly returned to normal, though a quiet unease settled like dust over its streets. Children avoided the Thornfield mansion, which stood vacant for decades, its windows like dark eyes watching over a community that had once dared to believe in prosperity. In 2023, a restoration team uncovered a hidden basement beneath the mansion. Inside were crates of untouched belongings, a charred journal, and 7 woolen coats, still tagged for a journey that was never completed. To this day, the Thornfield mystery captivates historians, ghost hunters, and true crime enthusiasts alike. It reminds us that even in the heart of civilization, darkness can fester unseen, and that sometimes those who vanish aren't lost, they're hiding. Before we continue with newly uncovered documents that might finally reveal the truth behind what happened that October night, be sure to like this video, subscribe, and comment your thoughts below. Which sister's story do you think holds a key? Was it Grace, the genius accountant? Catherine, the haunted painter? Or perhaps Rebecca, the one who looked back?